guys, a UK-based pastor reveals that Professor Osinbajo should have resigned for the sake of posterity. Do you really agree with that? Let us know why he said so. Pastor Ayo Akerele is an author, public speaker, researcher, leadership expert, and the lead pastor of Rema for Living Assembly in London, United Kingdom. He took to his verified Facebook page to plead with Yemi Osinbajo to intervene in the ongoing saga between CAMA and the Nigerian church. Well, will Professor Osinbajo deny knowledge of the new CAMA bill? It was planned secretly, passed by the Senate secretly, and signed by Buhari secretly. Professor, sir, you should have resigned for the sake of posterity. You have already made a name and have achieved so much. Silence in leadership is a voice. Sir, right in your presence, Nigeria is being dismembered. Yes, God put you there, just like God put Daniel in Babylon. But Daniel would rather enter the lion's den than support the agenda of Nebuchadnezzar. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego would prefer to burn inside fire than bow to the golden image. Then where is my beloved pastor Tunde Bakare? This is the most critical time in Nigeria when your voice is needed, sir. Why is everyone quiet? Whether you are APC or PDP or whatever, everybody is already in this Buhari pepper soup. This is not about the church alone, but about all businesses, civil liberty organizations, charities, and co. Foreign direct investment into Nigeria will disappear. No reasonable business owner will bring his business into a country where the government is now fully in charge. Maybe this was what drove ShopRite out of Nigeria. They must have got wind of the information. You need to read the details of the new bill. It is a dagger, and if you are deceived to think that it is an economic improvement too, you will soon change your mind. Okay. A corrupt, clueless, and nepotistic Nigeria government is morally unfit to regulate the church. I have never hidden my disdain for the current Nigerian government. There is even nothing to pretend about. Nigerians themselves can see what has become of Nigeria in the hands of their current leaders. They are corrupt to the bones. I don't just base my judgment on what I read in the news, but on facts and figures I get from the people appointed by the Buhari regime, some of whom I have met privately. In this contest, I will never support the current drive by this corrupt government to interfere with the Nigerian church, the challenges in the church notwithstanding. You have to separate issues here. If you fixate attention alone on the current challenges in the church to endorse a despotic and tyrannical government to interfere with the current church structure, you will regret it by the time they are done. What have they done with the Nigerian economy entrusted to them in 5 years? What have they done with the judiciary? What have they done with security? They have ruined all these sectors. Do you now want me to trust them that they mean well for their karma intentions? Never. They are not trustworthy. They lie, cheat, manipulate, and do all sorts of unbelievable things. They release terrorists, pamper them, accept corrupt politicians into their party, cover scams, and do all sorts of evil. In the developed world where I live, my government, though still fraught with their own inadequacies, are extremely reliable, caring, trustworthy, and reasonable and responsible. Churches are classified as charities and are exempted from taxes responsibilities. Yearly, we file our reports and account to the government for accountability purposes. In return, the government supports charities with grants, discounted fees to use government facilities, and tax reduction benefits for donors, among others. For the general public, the government provides free health care services to all citizens, education loans and grants to all citizens, free school to low-income earners, tax refunds to tax-paying workers, free bus services to all primary and secondary school students, free transportation to all elderly people from 65 years upward, numerous scholarships and funding to researchers and students from BSc level upwards, grants for small-scale businesses, plenty of jobs at all levels for all eligible workers, grants and loans to all citizens interested in starting their own businesses. The list is endless. This is a working society led by reasonable and responsible leaders. In this kind of responsible environment, when they ask us to submit our books and reports for review and audit, we gladly do so. Why their antecedents speak volume. They mean well. They take good care of our families and interests. They protect us. They are still human beings. They are subject to mistakes and corruption, but not in this world. Can you compare a local government chairman here with a Nigerian president? They are poles apart in values. I want the Nigerian church to be regulated, given the scale of anomalies, financial misappropriation and reckless lifestyles of a lot of pastors, but not by a Fulani government whose primary interests are to protect the interests of terrorists, educate them, forgive them, and send them back to the society. A government with an uncommon appetite for lies and deception. A government with an uncommon zeal for disobeying court orders and for violating human rights. A government that has never prosecuted one Boko member since inception. A government that ran our citizens aground in poverty and penury, while other reasonable nations were supporting their citizens during the COVID-19 pandemic. Nigerians were literally turned to beggars by these wicked leaders in a country ranked as the 6th largest oil producer in the world. A government that ran Nigeria aground in virtually most areas. I cannot trust such a wicked and clueless government with the sacred duty of regulating our affairs. Why? They will do it in a way that will add more damages and destructions to an already challenging situation. I prefer the status quo until a reasonable government arises. NDDC, they ran it aground. EFCC, they ran it aground. NNPC, they ran it aground. The list continues, and we should trust them. Well, don't have the physical powers. They don't have this. Well, we don't have the physical powers to stop this, except for the church to follow a legal pathway. And that is if the lawless government will obey the court orders. This is a case of my child needs to be trained and my neighbor, who's an armed robber, has offered to help. It is prescription for disaster. I totally condemn it. Let the Buhari regime start by releasing all detained human rights activists. Let them start by prosecuting all the criminals working with the government. Let them start by organizing and regulating the National Assembly. Let them start by being truthful with the health of the president. Let them become true public servants. Let them show us examples of fairness, justice, true federalism. With this in place, I can then trust their intentions. God bless Nigeria. Oh, Coco. Guys, did you hear this man? The man, they spit fire. Yes. You know, of course, like I said in one of my videos, that both parties have to look at this whole thing thoroughly. This idea of okay, in case where they misbehave, or maybe where the church or the bodies, whether NGOs or whatever, all those groups who are affected, who are concerned concerning this CAMA, if they default or if there's any discrepancies, that they will not be able to contest it in court. That is just the area they need to look into, which is not really proper. See, like this man has spoken well, but one thing is that everybody is saying, oh, this CAMA is a good thing. It is a normal thing, it's happening everywhere. It's not as if maybe it's just coming to Nigeria for the first time and all of that. But what people are saying, that these people do not have the moral justification to be in charge of all this. Is all the things that the man has listed that this government has been doing. They are true. We can see them. But if we continue to say, okay, until this is not the right time, this is not the right time, but because they are in power, one thing that we should not forget, and we will say the truth. Some people have been saying the problems we have in this country, the people who are giving us problem are the religious leaders and the politicians and the elite. They are the people giving us problem, before the people themselves who are having the problem are still contributing to the problems being imposed on them by this same set of people. I so much like the way he agreed that there are so many abnormalities even in the church setting, or whatever. Of course, this man is a pastor, so let's even take it from the angle, because you talk for your people. Even in the church, we see what has been happening. Then if you are now saying that the government is this, that means even the church themselves do not have moral justification to condemn what the government is doing, because they are manipulating their people at one end, while the other two, which is the government, is still marginalizing the people. So they are the same, they are of same. That means all of them do not even have moral justification to even talk. Because the reason why this man is talking, is going against this CAMA, is that he's saying that the government does not have the moral justification to impose it. Maybe if another government comes in, they should do it. Then if you now believe that the church themselves, they are not doing the right thing, well, that means they are all the same. So who are you fighting for? That is where we need to speak the truth. If you now say that, oh yes, they don't have that moral justification to do that, don't forget that these people, no matter how we see them, whether you like them or not, God recognizes them, and you must obey it. So if the so-called people you are fighting for, they themselves are not clean on their own, so why are you fighting for them? And in as much as these people are in government, they just have to comply. But my own opinion, my suggestion is that with all the things, all the unpleasant things that the government is doing, we need to stand up against it. Two wrongs cannot make a right. Two wrongs cannot make right. That is it. Because the two of them, whether our religious leaders and whatever, they are of same. So who are you backing up? Who are you backing, and who are you supporting? Because in all ramifications, they are the ones, they are still dealing with the people. The same people they are dealing with. For the fact that you still agree, I so much like that he agrees that yes, these people too, they are not doing the right thing. Then coming back to the main man, that Osinbajo should have resigned, or would have resigned. But you just want to be there. Everybody can see the game the man is really playing. So who is to be blamed? The question is that the government does not have the moral right to do what they are doing. And also, the reason why some of the church leaders are doing that, because they themselves do not have moral rights to even question. They can't even question the government too. You can't question them. So where do we now go from here? That is the question I would like to throw to everybody. Where do we now go from here? Because what the churches are supposed to do, or the religious or the bodies are supposed to do, they are supposed to do what the government is trying to tell them to do. But the government itself is not to be trusted. So where do we start from? So guys, leave your comments below in the comment section and let us have your take.